Melody is not our God.
Last time I was here, it was the winter time, and he hadn't paid the electricity bill, and his van turned up, and then went away, and then all the electricity went off in the whole studio, and we started freezing. And can you imagine how long it takes to get the electricity back on in Spain? They don't do things in a hurry around these parts. Anyway, that was the last time I was here. I had a great time here before, and recording, and hanging out with you.
What are you going to be doing for us while you're here?
Oh, well, that's a very interesting point. There's no real agenda, you know. I'm going to Russia to record to St. Petersburg. I'm working with St. Petersburg State Orchestra for 5 years now. I'm their composer in residence. The orchestral tradition in Russia is amazing. I live on an island. It's about 120 miles off the coast of New Zealand. There's 400 people and there's no street lights. There's no cash point machines. The rarest bird life in New Zealand. I kind of go feral 3-4 months of the year. I'm doing the Royal Albert Hall with the Royal Philharmonic. But actually what I'm doing is a secular requiem mass for people who've committed suicide. But what I've done is I've used the music of Nirvana and orchestrated it for full choir and orchestra.
What brought that together?
A suicide in my family, actually. And then when I thought of Kurt, you know, he became a sort of icon. I don't know whether anyone's ever been to a funeral, probably not, of someone who's committed suicide. Well, they probably haven't been because nobody turns up. I wanted to sort of do a requiem mass. You know, Chris Cornell was very close to killing Joe. And then when it happened to my daughter's boyfriend, that's why I wrote the whole thing.
Ready?
It's my everything, Kennedy. When you consider that I left school at 15 with 4 criminal offences, no O-levels or anything. Killing Joke was my complete and utter university, as well as punk rock. I'm working with the great symphony orchestras of the world, conducting, and I'm an architect. I've done 2 buildings now. And this all came from punk. I've even worked for the Queen. I ended up conducting orchestras, working for the Royal Opera House, and knighted for classical music. Classical music got me out of big shit all my life, right? Because the 4th time I got into trouble when I was 15, they were going to send me to Borstal. I was all ready to get sent down to Borstal because it was my 4th offence. And then I just got into the National Youth Orchestra of Great Britain. And the judge took this into consideration and I didn't go. Music has always saved me.
Was it in your family?
No, not at all. When I was 4, my brother was 6, I would do music and my brother would do science. That was it. It was an arranged marriage. I never had a choice of being a train driver or anything like this. It was that you're doing music. My mother made that decision. I grew up in a village called Charlton Kings near Cheltenham, Cotswolds.
And New Zealand came into your life how?
Well, it came after I lived in Iceland because I found all these ancient Rosicrucian writings that talked about an island at the ends of the earth where great things would happen. I went to Iceland first. I ended up in New Zealand trying to manifest this island or see which one was perhaps part of this prophecy. I ended up changing the national anthem of New Zealand. And when that happened, I felt it was a message that New Zealand is the island in the prophecies. It's a place in my heart.
Tell me about how you met Youth.
How I met Youth. The guitarist Geordie was sent to meet Youth first, and we got him down to Cheltenham. And our first jam was a complete disaster. And then 2 of us stopped, and I said, "You can't play about Youth." He went, "I can." Anyway, 2 of us left and went to a friend's place and got stoned, and we went to the pub, and then we met all these people and they said, "How's the band going?" I didn't want to say, "Oh, the bass player is fucking terrible, it's not working at all." I said, "No, everything's great." They went, "Great, let's listen to you guys." And so we went back to the studio, and when Paul and myself got back to the studio, there was Youth and Geordie, and they were just playing one note, vibrating one note, and there was a lot of energy coming off them, and everybody crowded into the studio, and I got behind my keyboards and Paul got behind the drum kit, and then he did a drum roll, and then we all locked in. The universe opened. We must have jammed for about 12 minutes more, and then the whole room, which is full by then, everybody burst out laughing. It was obvious that what would happen. It's like destiny in the making. Having a magic chemistry and recognising it when you've got it, and then sustaining it, you know. and it's our 40th anniversary. I've orchestrated Killing Joke's music, but with a choir in Latin, but the music is actually for the United Nations. We're getting better. Killing Joke's last 3 albums we've done have just been like stunning. It's one of those funny bands that gets better as it gets older. The music becomes more magical. I don't know why, but it does. We're masters of what we do now. The gigs are getting bigger and I've got everything to be grateful for. Sometimes you've just got to count your blessings, you know?
Money is not our God.
Blue sky, sun, vitamin D, counterculture, freedom. For me, there's only one song with all rock music and all counterculture, and that song is freedom. And that's what I love about this event that he's putting on. Why it means a lot to me, because it's a counterculture many of us live for still. It's nourished us, it's sustained us. I'd like to see it continue. When I see the lives of people going to work, working in these soulless offices for corporations, and this is becoming the norm everywhere. This piracy, this beautiful island, this temporary autonomous zone of freedom that we are in now means so very, very much.
Ready?
Thank you, Jaz.
It's a bit